Hi, I'm Melissa Hama here at Cieneguilla Stables. I've been doing guided horseback rides for about 30 years in Taos, and it was quite a change for me coming from working with horses at training and breeding farms in Ohio. We're going to be getting ready for a ride here this morning.
I'm Melissa's mother. We took her out west when she was about, I'd say she was about 9 years old, and we stopped along the road and there were some mules and she ran up to the fence and was hugging them and kissing them. Came back to the van and told us that when she grew up she was going to come out west and she's going to bring her horses and have a horse ranch.
Yes, so my dream was to always have horses in my yard and be around animals, and never dreamed though that I would be doing horse rides out here in the Wild West. Definitely went to, horse shows and things like that, but this was quite a change, and I've been very passionate about it, and it's been very fun teaching people about, riding horses and about nature. It's been a wonderful thing for sure.
I've been a friend of Melissa's for about 38 years now, and I met her back in Kent, Ohio. And she was a horse girl back then. At the time, she was working at a local stables. And she's just a dynamic woman and a hellion. They definitely got to keep on your toes around her.
I was definitely a wild child out there with nature for sure. Riding our horses all over the neighborhoods, downtown Kent, to the frat houses.
But she was always pushing the limits with us. And one time she said to her, "Mom, how do you know about all these things?" And I said, "Well, Melissa, I did the very same thing when I was your age."
I remember a little story of her getting ready and getting all her animals, and she loaded up in Brimfield, Ohio, and she had this little pickup truck with a horse trailer on the back. She loaded it up with 4 horses. She had her truck filled with chickens and lizards and snakes, and I mean, it looked like a traveling road show. And we sent her on her way to Taos, New Mexico.
I couldn't even touch this horse's tail when I got him. It's not something you do when you get a new horse right off the bat, but it stretches them, it's connected to their brain. He loves a massage. It's our job as an owner to get our horses prepared for the blacksmith, not the blacksmith to school your horses. And you too, Batman. Yeah, you really like it. You're like, I don't care what you do to me. Their ears tell you where they're thinking, what they're doing. Good.
3 miles from our house, we were in the city, was a lot of horses and a lot of boarding stables, and so we found one. And she was on riding trails out there, but to get to these riding trails, there were golf courses, and they had to ride along the side of the road. Well, she got up on the berm of the road where it was soft and left hoof prints. So the manager, apparently, of the golf course called the police.
The police always said if they caught us on the golf course, it'd be $5 a footstep, but I had a really fast horse and nobody would catch me. So I never got caught. I used to raise hedgehogs and rats for my snakes, but I also had pet rats that would go on rides with me. This is that hat. This was with my horse that I had since I was a kid. This was Missy. Set it so he gets in his withers. He's what's called mutton-backed. Saddles don't fit him really well. When he went off to his elk hunt that my friend took him to, they didn't have the saddle set right. Went over his head. He wouldn't cross water. They tied him at elk camp. They didn't have him tied right. He got loose. He wandered to somebody else's elk camp. He was rooting around in their tents and eating all their food. A little sunscreen on Batman's little Batuski here because he's very much got pink skin. I'm not a fan of pink skinned animals, but like I said, my friend just showed up and said, "I'm hiding this horse from my wife." I was working at the training and breeding farms in Ohio with the thoroughbreds. I started working from 12 till 8 in the morning with all the pregnant thoroughbreds that were gonna have a bunch of babies. And I helped deliver 40, 50 Babies a year. The foals that had good mothers usually were good foals. They had better skills. They were just easier to work with and train. So that was definitely an eye-opening moment, and that was, later part of high school, at the end of high school. Animal psychology can be more of a movement, body language, energy thing. It's very hard to explain to people. It's just very intuitive. So that gave me way more of an understanding of that, which I really enjoyed. We ride on part of the old Apache Trail in the Cieneguilla Canyon here that's been used for over like maybe 1,000 years to travel through the canyon. So teach people a little bit about the history of the area, tell people a little bit about the starlights, and the geology is world class here because the whole side of the gorge got busted open by the fault lines here.
If you ever have a chance to come here to the stables, Cieneguilla Stables, you should take time to stop.